get you in there if you are low on funds and whatnot. So, but anyways, in fact, I think that you've spent all of this time coming from Nightstone. I will give you a little bit of coin, and he goes into his desk over to one of his cabinets, and he has a little treasure box that he pulls out, and he sits down on his desk, and he says, I hope this will be enough for everyone. So he gives everyone 2 platinum pieces apiece.
Whoa.
And I will go ahead and yeah, he's sparing no expense on that. So let's add this. I'll add it real quick for you guys. So let's see. There's a total of what, 6 of you guys, so total 12 plat. There you go. Congratulations, you got 2 platinum apiece. Alright.
Sweet.
20 gold.
Nice.
It's not bad. Yeah. Anything, says, it's the least I could do. Is you've traveled the hundreds and hundreds of miles. How did you get here? Did you stable your horses?
We just flew in.
You flew? You possess the power of flying?
No, I'm
Wow.
just kidding.
I am in the presence of greatness, he says.
Well, I mean, I can't turn into a bird, but that's beside the fact.
Well, if you do wish to say it, Geldenstags, Myrtle, she takes no shit. So if there's any troublemakers, I'm not saying you guys are the troublemakers, but you can feel safe there, even though it isn't the most accommodating, like I had said. But I just wanted to give you that warning first.
Well, we thank you, and I asked for directions, and we'll kind of head off that direction.
Sure.
And I'll also make sure to ask him, where can you get the best ale here in Bryn Shander?
Sure. Let me find Geldenstags really quick here.
You had enough of Krusk's ale. Wow.
All right, so Geldenstags is over here on the eastern side, in the eastern part of the city by the east gate. Now, as for
Hey, Dave.
Mhm.
Just as a
Sure.
FYI, when we hit those pins, I can read DM text.
Sure, yeah, that's I'm letting you guys know. Yeah.
Oh,
you
okay.
guys-
All right.
Yeah, but because this is stuff that I've already pretty much told you guys, so.
No. I can see more than that.
Oh.
Oh, it
Yeah.
must just be you.
Yeah, it must just be you. I don't see
Yeah,
anything.
I've got links to stuff, and
Wow.
I can
Yeah.
see this whole story.
Well, I'll just go ahead and take that shit from you guys.
No.
So he also says if you want to visit somewhere a little bit nicer, the Northlook is a nice place to stay as well. Then there's he talks about there's plenty of small smithy stands and shops around if you need to get your weapons sharpened or if you need any kind of tools and whatnot. There's the marketplace. There's Kelvin's Comfort, which is probably, he says, Kelvin's Comfort is probably the most popular tavern in town, and it is a really nice establishment. Then there is, you guys are at the town hall, and actually Kelvin's is really close. It's only about 5 or 6 buildings away. He says, there's the house of the Triad, and this is the largest place to worship in Bryn Shander, because he looks and sees a couple of you with your holy symbols and whatnot. And he says, the house of the Triad is really the only one that I would actually consider a temple. It is a beautiful, impressive building, and it was built by the dwarves.
And who's worshipped there in the House of the Triad?
It honors 3 gods: Tyr, Torm, and Ilmater, or Ilmater.
Well, all good fellows. Is there any a shrine to Lathander currently?
Yes, there is one, and he just says, yes, sure, there's a shrine to Bryn Shander. Well, Lathander, but yes, you can worship all of the gods here in Bryn Shander. There's one that doesn't, there's no gods that you're not allowed to worship.
I still don't understand why you think you need a building to worship your god.
Well, you don't need one. It's just nice to get out of the weather sometimes, Vivian.
But the weather is part of it.
Well, that's true, but it can be awfully cold, especially up here.
There's an armor if you need armor. There's the speaker's hall, which we have just elected our current speaker. Her name is Duvessa Shane. She is the one that basically runs Bryn Shander for the time being, until we have our next elections down the line. So that is where we choose someone to represent Bryn Shander.
Oh.
And he sees the way that you're dressed and your attire, and he says it would be the leader of, like, maybe of your grove, the same equivalence. He's a very knowledgeable man. Kind of knows about. Seems like he knows a little bit about everyone here, except for Nyx. He's kind of giving you the slant eye a little bit.
Everyone does.
So what do you guys want to do? Talk to me. I can tell you where to go.
Well,
I'm
let's
going to make sure I visit the local shrine or church of Tyr. I've got to make sure I put in a stop there for sure. That would be my first stop.
Well, but all of us are probably getting a little hungry at this point, and they're just a few buildings away. We've got a nice place, so let's head over to was it Kelvin's Comfort?
Sure. Yeah, you could head over to Kelvin's Comfort. Yeah. He
The
says it's
signs
just
are placed
6
around,
buildings
so
down.
we at least know where it is. If we have extra things to set down.
He says, I think the seagull's on the menu for tonight. I'm just kidding.
Well, that first guy did sound a little bit like Salty P in the beginning.
Yeah. Seagull is on the menu, boys. Alright, so you guys have access to all of Bryn Shander. Well, where would you guys like to go? What would you like to do?
When we pass through the town square, I know this is pretty far from Daggerford, but I just want to check, see if there's any posters up or make sure there's not, for the Bathhouse Bandit.
Yeah, I was also going to check the bulletin board.
Sure, yeah, there's a couple posters of the Bathhouse Bandit, but they're so outdated and it doesn't even look anything like you. Because before, you're from Waterdeep, this is a massive travel away, and it just says look out for the Bathhouse Bandit, but it doesn't have any. It just has like a very horrible sketch of you drawn. It doesn't even look anything like you.
Okay.
So what do you guys think? You said you wanted to.
It'd take a little artistic skill. I could probably fix that if you wanted to look more like you.
Oh, I got that handled. Thank you for the offer.
Nice. So you wanted to stop by the House of the Triad, right, Tyr? Well, Draven, I'm sorry. All right. We will do you first.
Oh, Draven, are you headed over to your temple now? First stop.
Why, yes, I am. I will make. It's been a while since I've been able to visit one.
Ah, I understand. Well, I'll tag along, and I'll go with him.
Okay, very nice. I like that. All right. So you head over to the place of worship, and it is an impressive stone. Like the sheriff had said, it was made by the dwarves, and it is a beautiful, beautiful temple. And it is about halfway between the southwest gate and the central market. And there are the symbols of, they call it the Triad, and it is Tyr, Torm, and Ilmater. And it is very well maintained, and you go inside, and there are several priests inside. And all kinds of rows of, he's beautiful, all kinds of stained glass, lit by candles. There's a huge stage up in the very front of the temple.
I can't help but look around and gape because he's not your typical paladin, so he's not like nobility came to a paladin, so he's like a simple country lad who was called and was blessed, and so he's looking around like a country boy, like, oh my god.
Right?
He hasn't seen such opulence in a church like this.
Yeah, a priest comes up to you and welcomes you to the Triad, and he introduces himself as Acolyte Delvin Ludwig, and he has another acolyte with him, and he introduces him Cyric of Suzal. And here's what, this is actually what Cyric looks like here. This is what he looks like. I don't have an image for Delvon, but I will try to find one.
Greetings, Acolyte. I am Draven Windsayer, Paladin of Tyr. I have come to pay my respects.
Oh, well, you may do so. The altar is right over in this direction. He kind of points over towards one direction of the altar.
I am Frantisek, priest of Lathander.
Welcome. We do not have any accommodations for Lathander, but there is a temple inside of Bryn Shander that would meet your accommodations, and there is a temple
I'm
for
here
you.
with my friend, and of course, as you know, our gods are aligned. So I'm simply accompanying him, but it's good to meet you.
It is always a glorious thing as all of the deities get together so well, and its worshippers.
So I'll do the proper genuflection or whatever a visitor would do, and allow Draven to go up to the shrine and do his
Sure.
thing.
Yes, I'm going to go up to the shrine, make sure I go up to the shrine, take off my weapon, my sword and shield, and lay them beside it, and then put my hands together in prayer, and offer up my genuine prayer of thanks to Tyr for bringing us here to Bryn Shander, and may he guide my sword and make my sword arm strong to help spread his word and to help and defend people.
Well, as you're doing that and you're down on your knees, a little stone hand outreaches from the altar that you're worshiping at, and it has its hand out. Little stone hand kind of comes out of the altar.
Churches, man, churches.
I know, tell me about it.
But actually, I was actually planning on giving those 2 platinum that I just got. I'm going to give those to the church.
Wow. Well, the priest thanks you. Delvon says, "Oh, thank you very much, my friend. We use all of this to upkeep and pay tributes to the gods. As you can see, everything is beautiful in here, and we like to keep it that way."
Well, make sure that it gets used wisely and carefully.
Oh, it always does, except for that one time several years back with the old priest that was in charge. There was nothing. That's nothing. You don't want to hear a story.
No.
But anyway, about Cyric.
I do. Continue to tell your tale. What happened with the old priest?
Well, it's quite a bothersome story. It's small people and people with painted faces and being naked, and it was just a scary thing, and I don't think you want to hear anymore. There were a horse involved and stuff like that. That's where the money was going. It was just absolutely absurd, and that's why he's not here anymore.
The more he hears, the more furrowed his brow becomes. He's like, by the end of it, he's almost apoplectic with shout, like, what the? No, you're right. I do not want to hear any more of this blasphemy.
And as you're in the temple, Frantisek, this other gentleman, Cyric, he goes, "Oh yes, I'm quite new to Bryn Shander, and I've come for the trout fishing, and I also met the priest Delvon here. He's a really nice gentleman, but yes, the trout fishing. But it's been too cold as of late."
Well, isn't the fishing done in the other towns? I don't see a lake around Bryn Shander.
No, you have to travel a little bit. Do you fish? Are you a fisherman?
No, never have. But I know one thing: you need water to find the fish.
Oh boy, I was raised, and he's a really talkative fellow, and he says, yeah, I was born, and my when I was a baby, I was given to the temple, and I was raised in the orphanage, and then I snuck away from the orphanage, and then I basically honed all of my skills surviving as a young boy and a teenager, and I learned how to fish. So I then found one of the small towns here in Suzale. So that's why I call myself Cyric of Suzale, because I have no clue what my last name is. Ah, yes, it is.
Oh, I see. And how's the fishing there in Suzelle?
Ah, it was great. It was really good. It's always good, but the bigger trout are here near Bryn Shander, and that's why I'm here. So I can actually sell them in the marketplace and make some money.
Oh, what do you mean bigger trout? There's, as we said earlier, there's no lake here in Bryn Shander.
Well, you have to travel a little bit, as I said. There's no lake that runs, well, there's no river that runs through, but you just have to do a little bit of traveling, maybe a couple of miles, and you can do your trout fishing that way.
Interesting.
Yeah. The old knucklehead trout fishing, it's the best here in Bryn Shander. Especially during the winter.
Dave, can I use an insight check on this guy? Cause I don't know what the heck he's talking about. So
he's just a chatty Cathy. He just wanted to know if you're a fisherman and if you knew how to fish. And he breaks out like a spool of line, and he's like, "Well, this is how you tie a fisherman's knot, and here's how you do it." And oh yeah, you definitely think this guy is.
I got no idea what's going on with them. So after a little while, I just kind of nod and very nice.
As Draven gets back to you, I think it's time for us to go.
Hey Draven, we gotta go, man. Everybody else is gonna wait for us. So cool church, bro.
I just nod. Draven nod like, yes, I am ready to leave. Let's go.
Delvon thanks you once again and bows, and Cyric says, hey, maybe we can go fishing sometime, huh?
Yeah, you bet, sure. Yeah, and you bet.
Yeah.
Take care of you.
Yeah, thanks.
Good to meet you,
I'll
bro.
see you later.
So you like the fish?
Yeah, don't get him started, Draven. Let's go.
No, I'm talking to you as we're walking out.
I don't like to
talk
fish. I don't. No, definitely no fishing. I never want to fish. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just thought I'd ask.
People.
Well, they come from all over to worship the gods. You should know that.
Well, I know, but those weren't. No, never mind. Your church has interesting folks in it.
I don't think I like this place because this church, it's too big. It's too impersonal.
Yeah. Well, maybe we'll have better luck at the Temple of Lathander. I'll visit there first thing in the morning.
Perhaps. Then I shall attend. I shall go there with you in the morning.
Oh, excellent. We can be there for the dawn ceremony.
Yeah, the Jesuit can convert you tomorrow. All right, so this is where you're at over here at the Triad. So, what about Nyx, Vivian, Krusk, Rigby? What are you guys doing?
Rigby wants to find the sleaziest bar in town.
The sleaziest bar in town?
Yeah, that's the slum bar.
It would probably be... Let's see, the Hooked Knucklehead. The Hooked Knucklehead, that's a great name. This is where most of the traders stay, that are coming here from the other 10 towns and whatnot. And that the accommodations are meager. There are some private rooms available that actually have fireplaces and hearths and whatnot. And most of the clientele sleeps in like a spacious common room.
I'm going to walk up to the bar and order the cheapest ale.
Alright, so let's look at the other, let's see. If you're looking for the most if you're looking for the shadiest, as the sheriff says, where we have most of the problems in town, you want to go to the North Look, and it's at the very northern end of the town, and it's right in this area
That's
here.
where I'm heading off to.
That's where everybody's going. Nice.
I'm heading up there, and I want to go in. I want to take a prominent seat at the bar where I'm like where people can see me and order the cheapest ale from the bartender.
Sure, no problem at all.
And I'm like looking around if I can see some people of the Sandrum or so.
As I'm sitting there, I've got holding 2 copper coins with a silver coin in between them in my hands, and just kind of flipping them back and forth, which in thieves' cant means I'm looking to find a fence and to purchase and sell some item.
All right, so you go into the North Look, and before you sit down, I'm going to give you guys are on top of it. So as you go inside, and plus the sheriff had told you that this is the inn that has the rowdiest and and is the most dangerous place to stay in Bryn Shander. Now, he says, now I will say this. He says the tap room is by far the best in all of 10 towns. And this is where you can get, the latest news, the latest rumors, and actually you can find a lot of profitable ventures inside of here as well. He says the owner, his name is Scram Sachs, and he's a retired sellsword himself, and he may be able to help you out, possibly, but there are some pretty high rates that he does charge. He says it's usually about triple what everything else is here in town, but it is the most popular. So, you want to go to the North Look and you go inside, alright? Now, this place is busy. There's all kinds of, as you come in, everybody's looking at you guys. So who all's in here? Rigby, Krusk, Nix, and Vivian, are you here as well, or?
Nope.
No? Where are you at, Vivian? Nix, where are you at? Can't hear
got
Nix.
lost.
I think Nix is muted. He's nope. So Vivian, what are you doing? What are you doing, Vivian? Where are you at?
She's, after leaving the town's square building, she just started looking at the snow as it was falling out of the sky and just kind of wandered, staring upwards, and got lost.
Sure, you're just walking around Bryn Shander. So do you guys have a meeting point or what? Because I don't think you guys have.
Yeah, I
talked
was
about that.
gonna say we would meet back at the Kelvin's Comfort when we'd finished wandering around.
Sure. Okay, that sounds good. We'll wait for Willow to. Yeah, we can. There you go, Willow.
Apparently, I've been talking this whole time and nobody's been here.
Sorry, where you been hiding?
I went with the Knicks and with Rigby and everybody up here. Is this place like a dive bar, Dave? Is it like a biker bar or something? I mean,
it kind of
people
resembles.
Make me uncomfortable.
Yeah, as all three of you guys walk in, I mean, you can definitely tell that these are sellswords and mercenaries, and adventurers, and they're all kind of eyeing you as you all walk up to the tavern. You all walk up to the bar, and a burly man, very scars on his face and whatnot, very very worn face, scars on his arms and whatnot. He says, "What you having tonight?" Rigby says, "I'll have a glass of the cheapest you got." And he says, "Well, the cheapest we got's 2 silver." And he slams down a mug on the table for you, Rigby. And he says, "I haven't seen you guys here before. What you here for? What's your business here? You looking for work or what?"
Looking for ale
possibly.
and maybe a bit of companionship, if you follow me.
Yeah, we're in between jobs. Just
Well, I
trying
don't
to-
swing that way, good looking, but I'll tell you what, I'm sure there's some others here in the bar that
I'm
does.
looking for somebody with a bit softer legs than yours, sir.
Yeah,
that ale would be rather timely, though.
there's all kinds of busty servers, around the tavern house, getting all kinds of flask of ale and whatnot, setting big wooden barrels down of pitchers of beer, where there's these huge spoons that they put in and pull out and put into their glasses. So he says, "Here's your ale." He slams them down in front of you, and he says, "So what's your business here in Bryn Shander?
We're
Haven't
just in between jobs
seen you
right
here before."
now. Just trying to enjoy ourselves a little bit. While I'm doing this, I'm flipping the silver piece in between the 2 copper coins in my hand, which is the thieves can't sign that I'm trying to locate the nearest fence.
The nearest fence, as in
For selling items, possibly buying items.
like the black market type of fencing, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure.
And I'm like,
He gives you no indication that he knows what knows what you're doing or anything. Like, he's just chatting it up and asking you where you're from and what's your business and why you here. Just being basically a typical nosy bartender or hairstylist or something. Just asking questions away.
and,
Sorry, Vivian.
Can I get my hair braided while he's there?
Yeah.
You need your shovel.
No, I don't.
I hail the lustiest wench as she walks by. What do we do for fun around here, beautiful?
He introduces himself as Scram 6, and he says, "Well, I'll tell you what, lad. All of my barmaids, they are off the menu for you tonight until whatever they want to do after work, they can do. But until then, they're on my time,
Oh, yeah, there's
not
the
your
clock. I
time."
understand, sir. I understand.
and I order myself also an ale, and like when I pay him, I'm like, and also taking out my gold coin with Xantrum symbol. Then I say to him like, I don't know if Rigby or Nix will hear it, but I'm like, is there any rumors around here? While I'm flipping that Xantrum coin.
Well, there's all kinds of things around here. I mean, what do you want to know? And he kind of takes your gold and he goes, I'll get you some change for that gold. And he takes your... Whoa, nothing's free around here,
Yeah, but I mean, I paid the regular coins. I paid, but then I start flipping that Xantrum coin. Like I pay him with normal money, but like
Sure.
when I'm asking him for if he knows something, I'm like showing him the Xantrum coin, but like not giving any that.
What kind of work are you looking for? Are you looking to protect a caravan? Are you looking? I mean, what are you looking for? I mean, there's all kinds of work. I mean, there's all kinds of postings up around in the marketplace, and also there's a few in here, and they're just generic, postings of needing, this cell sword for this caravan leaving at this day and time, et cetera, and et cetera, and et cetera.
Nothing special then.
No, nothing special. Nope. Are you going to be in town for long? Are you going to do some trout fishing? There's got to be some reason why you're here. You just don't travel up to the coldest part of all of the Forgotten Realm, well, all of the Sword Coast, for no reason at all.
We were on some business.
So now we're getting somewhere.
We're off now, so yeah.
So what kind of business were you pertaining to?
Delivering an errand.
Can I ask who? Sorry for all the questions. I'm just trying to, and he's getting other people, drinks on the bar as well. Nothing important, huh? Nothing you really want to talk about, I guess. Well, you're boring. Maybe I'll get a couple more in you, and then maybe you'll start talking then. I used to be a sellsword at one point before I got smart and got out of it. And now, this is my piece of heaven, the North Look. The best inn and tap room in Bryn Shander. So what are you here for? And he looks over towards you, Rigby. What are you here for? Oh!
Oh.
And as he hears the glass breaking, one of the servers dropped a glass mug. He yells, "Get that cleaned up! That's coming out of your paycheck!" What are you here for?
I'm just in between jobs right now, just trying to enjoy myself a little bit.
Well, you'll be able to find more work here if you want. What are you looking at? Except for getting laid there, good looking. What are you here for? It seems like you all came in together. I mean, are you guys all?
We're here for adventure, sir. We're here to dare the undareable, to dream the undreamable, and so on and so forth. And in the meantime, lay down in a warm bed beside a beautiful.
With one of my damn barmaids, that's what you're wanting to do. He tells her, I don't care what they do. He says he doesn't care what they do when they're off work. And he says they still got several more hours work as the sun is now starting to go down. So he just continues
all the more time to drink some more of this delicious ale, sir.
It is the best in all of Bryn Shander, and he just continues to give you guys, ales all night. So, Vivian, what are you accomplishing? You're just kind of looking at the northern lights and whatnot?
And the snow.
And the snow?
Twirling around like shoes in Edward Scissorhands.
Twirling around? Oh my goodness. So, a gentleman comes up to you as you're kind of making your way back over to the marketplace. Well, not a gentleman, but a woman comes up to you, and you're whoa as the old bar tavern owner. He's looking around. Who keeps dropping this stuff? So as you Vivian make your way back over to the marketplace, this is like a circular space in the center of town, and there's all kinds of local and foreign traders are selling their wares and whatnot. There's tents and covered wagons with canopies coming off there, and they're trying to sell everything. But at this point in time, most of the vendors are starting to close up. Well, as you're kind of looking and twirling around and gazing at the northern lights, a woman comes up to you, a very very warm dressed woman comes up to you. This is what she looks like. Now, she's around, and she comes up to you. She's kind of around this barrel or this very large brazier that's just got a lot of hot coals and people bundled around, heavily bundled figures that are around it. And she comes up to you, and she's wearing, you could tell that she's bundled up nicely, but she's kind of walking weird because her boots are way too big for her feet, and she's got these big gloves that are just kind of hanging off of her hands. And she comes up to you and she says, Can you spare a coin, m'lady? It's really cold out, and I would like to get some hot food tonight. I would love to have a hot dinner, a hot meal, and something hot to drink. Could you help me out?
Very pretty hot.
Oh, thanks.
And then she gives her a gold piece.
Oh, wow. Holy crap. She says, oh, my lady.
She has no use for money. She doesn't know money.
Oh, my lady, this is magnificent. I thank you so much. I'll be able to actually stay inside tonight and tomorrow and eat. Oh, thank you so much. And she actually, kind of gropes you and gives you a big ol' hug.
Well, it can't be too much because, under the coat I have relics. Sure, too big of a hug, he'll freak out.
Yeah, she just gives you a hug and kind of backs away. She says, what's your name? My name's Beldora.
I found out my name is Vivian.
Vivian, you're not from around here, it doesn't look like. I like your boots. They've got a lot of fur on them.
I picked them up in some other town. Don't know names very well. I'm not good with them.
you're kind of getting here late. Everybody's kind of closing up. I haven't seen you here. Are you from around here?
No, I just got here. But I'm just looking at the sky. Gaia did a wonderful job with her sky.
That is beautiful. And it gets even better as the sun goes down. You know, and the sun is going down, by the way. So she says, "What are you doing here? I mean, are you here with anyone? Or are you?"
Business with some friends here in town, and we will be staying a while.
Well, if your friends are half as nice as you are, Vivian, then Bryn Shander is in a better place. And she says, "Well, thank you so much again for giving me this gold piece. This is wonderful. I'll be able to stay warm for quite a while. Thank you so much again." And she shakes your hand with her big poofy mitts, and she goes stomping off and huddles back around one of the fires for a couple minutes as you're, looking around, spinning around in circles still.
Have a blessed night.
You too. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and end it here tonight, guys, because I've got to go and pick up my son.